What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. Welcome to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate you guys so very much. Over 1,500 episodes and 500,000 streams worldwide. None of that would be possible without you guys, so I thank you so very much. And yes, we're still dealing with, pandemic life, pandemic living, and we're getting into the winter months, those cold, chilly months, and while we're looking forward to good eats, good treats, and the fall, the leaves are falling and it's all beautiful and stuff, but I'm also missing out on one of my favorite times of year, Whiskies of the World. So I've got Brett here with me. Hey, Brett.
What's up, people?
Hey,
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us, Brett. Brett is of Whiskies of the World. So, Brett, for people that have been living under a rock and obviously don't have any real friends in their lives, let them know, what is Whiskies of the World?
Sure. Whiskies of the World is the preeminent whiskey competition throughout the entire country. It is a partnership between Agency 21 Consulting, which is my company, and Douglas, and Douglas was the partner behind Whiskies of the World. And actually this year, which you may not even be aware of, by the way, but we actually merged Whiskies of the World with Whiskey Extravaganza this year. Which is another one of the portfolio's assets. So we did that actually to truthfully just kind of stop competing with ourselves. And by the way, I'm so sorry, Douglas Smith. I'm talking about Doug like everybody should know who Doug is. So in case you know, the gentleman's name is Douglas Smith. But anyway, so it's really a preeminent whiskey competition. Number one, there is an awards element to it, which Doug and a lot of incredibly bright-minded whiskey aficionados from throughout the country participate in. But it's also your traditional tasting. So pre-COVID, which is I'm sure a lot of the discussions we're about to have here, pre-COVID, it is a tour we would do throughout the country. This year we were scheduled for 15 cities. We actually never got out of Denver. Denver was the only city we did a live event for. And we would have anywhere from 40 to 50 different vendors, all serving a collection from their portfolio. So for Joe or Jane buying a ticket, you could, in theory, sample hundreds of whiskeys at one of our events. We would have to cart you out, or we would have to bury you somewhere. But the reality is, the opportunity would be there. And so we're very blessed. It's an event that Doug has been involved with since 2010, and our agency has been involved with in a direct capacity since 2018.
Yes, and for me, when you guys come to Atlanta, I am usually there front and center. I am loving, the venue, the Intercontinental usually is at, the Smokers Lounge. I never smoked a cigar until then. And, of course, the vendors and just having that sense of, going by yourself and then leaving with friends was always amazing. But, with COVID and everything going on, Brett, how have you guys been able to adjust virtually?
Well, I'm really proud of the team. I'd love to take all the accolades, but truthfully, a collection of Doug, Anthony Gordon, who's VP of Partnerships for the agency, and Maya Holmquist, Director of Operations, they really kind of developed this pivot, right? That's the key word. We always have words from years. This year's word is pivot. So this reallocation was, how could we replicate this amazing experience at home? So what people did is Whiskies of the World at home. It's sort of that simple, right? And what it is we ship you a box. And in this box is anywhere from 10 to 12 different whiskey expressions. You will have PB scotches. You will have you'll have whiskey from Ireland. You'll have American bourbon. You'll have American rye, right? And part of the beauty of it is it's a collection of different whiskeys with different expressions and different brands. And that box comes to your home, all in 1 ounce pours, individually kind of sorted out. And there's a label to explain what each one of these expressions is. And then we have a virtual class. And this virtual class, we're able to bring in these different brand ambassadors where they get a forum to directly speak to the end consumer. So you, who gets this box at home and is sampling these delicious whiskeys, actually has an opportunity to engage with the brand ambassadors. And it has been a roaring success because, to your point, you love your whiskey, right? And you still want to experience and try new things. And this is the perfect opportunity, and also have that engagement with the brand ambassadors. So we're really pleased with how it's turning out.
Yes, I've been hearing all great things about it. Of course, they've all been like just sold out, just at the drop of the dime. If you guys stay tuned, we're gonna have a promo code at the end to share with you, so you can get get some, save a few dollars on that next box, that next class, which is coming up 2021, of course. But I know that December is already sold out. Wow. So what can you tell us?
December's already sold out. If I'm not mistaken, January is sold out. And we're almost sold out of February. So everyone will have to move quickly. But what we're looking to do now is actually add 2 different boxes. And we're also looking at a premium version of the box, where you can get more high-end or rare whiskey expressions. No different than when you go to the events. We would have, connoisseurs area where you can have high-end. We're looking at doing a very high-end exclusive box as well. So just lessons learned every step of the way.
Yeah, no, I think that this is definitely the right direction. I'm loving that, absolutely, so people can feel inclusive regardless of where you are in the world. Definitely getting to do that.
I am telling you, and listen, let's just be real. You're going to get hammered from doing it, okay? So I recognize, whiskey people, y'all want to pretend that you're there just to sniff and taste, but the reality is I was so blown away that you just don't realize that if you actually consume all 10 of these pours, you're in a good mood.
It was insane. I know you're talking about getting lit. Like, I think maybe my second year that I went, and I went and I did all my promo stuff. I was taking videos and pictures. I'm talking to everybody and everything, but also I'm taking little sips here, little sips there. I had to pass out in my car because I didn't even know. I had to go to sleep because I was like, I can't even keep my eyes open.
That's better than driving. We do not condone drinking and driving. I just want to put that little asterisk out there.
Absolutely.
Corporate responsibility here.
Yes.
But yes, of course.
Being safe above it.
It's really incredible.
It is.
And God willing, we can do both next year. I mean, that's our goal. So what we're learning is, our goal next year is to do a combination of both, right? Mm-hmm. This program has been so successful, we don't want to stop doing it. Because there's obviously a segment in the community that wants to keep doing this, but it is absolutely our aspirations to return to the live events in 2021.
Gotcha. We'll definitely be looking forward to that. But as far as this event, Whiskies of the World at home, so is it just the one day? Is it one day, one class? Is it going to be a series of different classes?
Yeah, so every single box is unique. So let's say you decided to buy a box every single month. You can, because there are no expressions that are consistent. Now, that may change eventually, right? As we get 6 months down the road, we've got great partnerships, with the Buffalo Trace, Sazerac umbrella, or Woodford, and so on and so forth. So you may see, Uncle Nearest, you may see different brands start to pop up over time, but initially you're going to be experiencing different whiskeys every time. So it's really a unique experience, and it's different brand ambassadors. That's the other thing. So remember, we're selling anywhere from 280 to 350 people on the Zoom class. But each one of these brand ambassadors is this unique individual. And they're just engaging in some dynamic personalities. So it's really a fun experience, not only learning from these people, being educated from these people, but drinking with them.
So in a strange way, Brett, would you say that COVID was a benefit for you guys?
I have to tell you. So as the largest culinary event agency in the country, it certainly was not a benefit to see 60 events around the country come down to zero.
Right.
But there are lessons learned, right? And that's the thing as any company is doing right now is how do you evolve? How do you adapt? And that is something specifically with this program that not only have we adapted, but this program's technically more successful.
Yeah.
We're seeing better engagement. Yeah, it's really special. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. And it's one of the things that will stay post-COVID.
Oh, absolutely. Without the shadow of a doubt.
So,
it's absolutely here to stay.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm so looking forward for you to do it, right? When you do your first class, I want that text afterwards going, Brett, number one, I am so tipsy. But number two, you were so right. This is amazing. Like, why isn't anyone doing this before? And it's just because this was built out of necessity.
Yeah.
This wasn't like some genius idea,
right.
When times were good. This is like everything else in COVID. It forces you to change. And change is scary, but change can be good.
Yes, Brett. Wow, I'm super excited. I'm like, yes, I jumped in on. I was like, I gotta get in on this. Yes, so I'm excited about getting my box for January. Yeah, but
I like it. I'm gonna join so you and I can drink together.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you. I'm like, hey, Brett, I'm about to do this class. I'm about to got my stuff all ready, sitting out, looking pretty. All right.
Excellent.
Awesome.
You gotta look pretty because listen, the females who participate, let's just call it like it is, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of dudes on these calls,
yeah.
So we're craving more female engagement, and I think I had told you offline before we started, but one of the things that I was most proud of, and I think is a direction that's only going to increase, is that of the 10 ambassadors we had on our last call, 4 were women.
Woo-hoo.
And I think that's just an amazing statement, right, to where the industry is going. Whiskey has always been this male-dominated, centric, kind of sexist space, and that is ending.
Oh, yeah.
And as a guy who, is married to a very strong woman, came from a strong woman, and just believes in kind of just, destroying any barriers, I'm just very excited about that. And obviously, on the Zoom, the text questions, they evolved as the night was going on. So we had to remind everybody to keep it above board in PC.
Absolutely. Brett, it has been amazing, phenomenal chatting with you today. Thank you so much for having time in your schedule.
Thank you for having me. I hope I get to come back before podcast 2000, right?
Oh,
so
absolutely.
It took 1,501 to get me here. You got to bring me back before 2000 or 3000, okay?
Oh, absolutely. That's a given. I mean, I've snatched up Doug. Doug knows me. I've snatched Doug up a couple of times. So yeah, no, I got my claws in. You're coming back. All right, that's a given.
You say when, and I will be there. And I look forward to drinking with you in January.
Absolutely.
And thank you to everybody who listens.
Yes, and Brett, let everyone know the website and to follow you guys.
Oh, well, that's good. Listen, I'm super unprepared here for that question. I believe it's whiskiesoftheworld.com. The company is Agency 21 Consulting, just like that. And I believe it is whiskiesoftheworld.com.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Shame on me. Shame on me for not being more prepared.
I don't know, Doug.
It is Whiskey of the World. There we go. Whiskey, WHISKY of theworld.com.
I don't know, Doug. Are you sampling some packs over there right now? Because that would make sense. I love it. Thank you so much. By the way,
I even said that wrong. It is Whiskies of the World. I had to correct the first time. So Whiskies, IES, of theworld.com.
Fun times. Thank you so much for listening, for all of your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face. You tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.